o'clock. We'll call this meeting to order. Start with a pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Reading of the call. Oh, you made it.
Dear Supervisor, please be advised that the Trempealeau County Board of Supervisors will meet at 7 p.m. on January 24th, 2022 in the county boardroom. All county board members' claims are due in the county clerk's office by noon on January 7th, 2022, so they can be prepared for audit committee approval. Sincerely, Paul Severson, County Clerk.
Roll call.
Bridget Turner. Here. Doug Winters.
Yes.
Sally Miller.
Here.
Richard Seisha.
Here.
Joe Feltus.
Here.
George Brandt. Here. Beth Killian.
Here.
Randy Tullifson.
Present.
Michelle Haynes.
Here.
John Austin.
Here.
Chuck Wallach.
Present.
Tim Ziegler.
Present.
Dan Schreiner.
Here.
Jeannie Nutter. Here. Kurt Skoyen.
Here.
Ron Johnson.
Yes.
Kellen Nelson. Not here. Okay. 16-0 present.
Okay. One absent.
Yep, one absent. Yeah, sorry, 16-1.
Okay. Certified open meeting law requirements have been met with proper posting and notification. We have 11 items on agenda looking for approval.
So moved.
Wow.
Motion by Johnson,
I'll second.
seconded by Nutter. Motion by Johnson, seconded by Nutter. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Minutes, you've had the minutes for a while. Any additions or corrections? Anybody want to make a motion to approve? Motion by Feltus, seconded by Mr. Winters. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Appearance, I told Kurt he wouldn't have to come tonight, but just so you know, anything you wanted to hear from Samuel's group will be on the radio tomorrow morning, along with our illustrious property vice chair, I think he is, or whatever. Secretary Dan Schreiner. They'll be on the radio tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock on WHDL prior to there. So he's got a meeting here tomorrow, so it's just in the interest
Will you get more than 15
of saving time, we just eliminated him for the night. So a quarterly update from Mr. Semmingson. Sheriff Semmingson?
Well, I'm hoping you can all hear me now.
Yes.
All right. We'll see how this goes. I got a couple things to talk about. First thing I'm going to start out with is just to mention the press release that some of you may have seen here a couple of weeks ago regarding the indictment, the federal indictment for 3 Trempealeau County residents for the possession with the intent to distribute 500 grams of cocaine. I'll just read a little bit of it. Each of the 3 defendants may face a mandatory penalty of 5 years and a minimum penalty of 5 years and a maximum of 40 years in federal prison for conspiracy, and 2 of them face a mandatory 5-year addition for possession of firearms to further the drug trafficking crime. This was an investigation that started out as a tip to my drug investigator and rapidly evolved into a multi-city event in our county, including Arcadia and Independence. And it got our detectives and our patrol staff involved, and then eventually we brought on state and federal partners in this event. I guess 500 grams of cocaine is a very substantial amount. This is a very big indictment for Trempealeau County, so I thought it was worthy of bringing it to your attention tonight. It's a result of about a 1.5 year investigation by my agency, Arcadia and Independence Police Departments, and those state and federal partners. Winona County was also in on this investigation as well. So, but one thing to note is that it was just a very minute piece of information shared with my drug investigator that led to this very large, intense investigation. So I wanted to call it to your attention tonight. If you have any questions on that, or had you heard about it, or
Any questions?
No, good work.
Don't hear any, Brett. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm hoping Carmen's link will work here. I've asked her to be present tonight just to give you some numbers from the dispatch center regarding that Pro QA software that we purchased last fall. Well, we purchased some time ago, but we got it up and running late last fall, and Carmen's got some numbers for us that I think you'd be interested in hearing.
Everybody can hear me?
Nope. Yep, hear ya.
Okay. Well, first of all, I wanted to let you know that we went live in October and we had our first official, well, let's just call it a report card with the company in January. We have some stats that we were a little bit surprised about because we didn't think we were as busy as we actually are. So for November, we had 215 EMS calls for the county. In December, we were a little bit down, which is good considering the COVID. We had 163 EMS calls. Now, the actual phone calls that come into the dispatch center for 2021 was 43,781 calls into the dispatch center. And in December, we had 4,945 calls. So I just wanted to kind of let you know what's coming into the dispatch center and then how this ProQA software is fitting in with that. So when someone calls 911, or even if they don't call 911 and it's an EMS call, we began giving them pre-arrival instructions after we figure out exactly what's going on with them. And then we give them post-dispatch instructions as well before we end the call. And all that information gets pushed out to the first responders, the paramedics, the helicopters, the officers if they're assisting, the fire departments if they're assisting. And that is all compiled within that software. For years and years and years, we were using flip charts, which was very effective, but this is much, much quicker for everybody. It is a very sophisticated program, and it's been taking all of us a lot to get used to it. But most of the, well, I shouldn't say most, all of the dispatchers are very, very committed, and they've been working so hard at this. So if we are going to follow the same trend that we have been as far as numbers, we could see as many as 2,400 EMS calls in 2022. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of the background and some of the numbers. We also time the dispatchers to see how long it's taking them. We also have a medical team, and the medical team keeps track of everything we're doing too, kind of our secondary report card, if you will. And a lot of our dispatchers right now are getting that information pushed out from the beginning of the 911 call to sending out an ambulance and paramedics and first responders in less than 30 seconds. So they are doing a remarkable job. And of course, that's not all. That's, just the ones that, they don't involve CPR or delivering a baby or some of those more complicated ones. But they really are doing a fantastic job, and I couldn't be more proud of them.
Okay, any questions for Carmen? Not, thank you, Carmen.
No problem, my pleasure.
All right, so I
Brett?
got just a couple more things here.
Okay.
As most of you know, maybe many of you know, I'm a member of the Badger State Sheriff's Association, and that's a Wisconsin association of all 72 sheriffs in the state. And a couple things have been going on there this fall that I think is worthy of mentioning to you tonight. First of all, just very recently, the Badger State Sheriff's Association received a grant from an anonymous donor for all sheriffs in Wisconsin to use to purchase less lethal weapons, training for staff, um, safety equipment, and Trempealeau County was awarded $34,000 of that pool, that grant. The grant is the money is deposited in an account with the Badger State Sheriff's Association from a financial firm who our executive director is aware of who that financial firm is. But nobody in the association, including the executive director, knows who the donor is. The invoices simply get sent to the Badger State Sheriff's Office for payment. We don't see any of the money at all. So this is something that is just coming to light. I'll be bringing it to my standing committee and perhaps exec finance if it falls under the donation policy. But I just want to mention it tonight that that's coming from the Badger State Sheriff's. Another thing going on with the Sheriff's Association is some of you may have received a solicitation to become an honorary member of the association. That started last spring, and they just mailed out their first annual newsletter and our first quarterly newsletter. And if you got something in the mail that looks like this after responding to the solicitation, it is legitimate. The Badger State Sheriff's Association started this program as a source of fundraising for training for sheriffs across Wisconsin. And they've had a lot of participation from residents and businesses in the state who want to become honorary members of the association and hear what's going on across the state. So if you hear questions of people asking if it's legitimate or not, or wondering what it's all about, that's what it is. It's legitimate, and some of you may have subscribed, and you'll be getting a newsletter shortly if you haven't already. So. And then the last thing from Badger State Sheriff's is we are partnering with them in a new program in our jail to provide resources and other assistance to opioid addicted inmates who are soon to be released back into the community. We want to provide a method of support for them as they try to overcome their addictions, and this is one way that we're going to be doing that. It'll be a new program in our jail, and it's happening in many across the state of Wisconsin. So just some things happening with the Badger State Sheriff's that I wanted to bring to your attention. Any questions on any of that?
Yep, we have some questions here. Mr. Ziegler has a question.
Sheriff, in your first discussion point, you mentioned receiving the Trempealeau County will receive a $34,000 plus grant for less lethal weapons. Could you describe what is meant by less lethal weapons?
Well, that would be like the beanbag rounds, the rubber bullets, stuff like that, that is much less likely to cause death or great bodily harm to somebody. The spirit of the grant is called the Safety First Grant, and the communication to the association was that the person or entity who is donating this money wants to provide training and resources to make law enforcement less likely to interactions to result in less likely events of death or great bodily injury to people, and also to be able to provide training and the same type of thing and type of equipment to reduce the likelihood of death or great bodily harm to the police officers as well. So, and that's what less lethal weapons are. Is their weapon? A taser is a less lethal weapon. If that helps you out. So.
Okay, thank you, Sheriff.
Ms. Nutter?
That was my question as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Yeah, thanks a lot, Sheriff.
All right. I can give you some of the usual statistics if you'd like. I have a few of them, and then I don't have anything else for you. So.
Okay.
So for the months of this is a quarterly report for October, November, and December. In those 3 months, the Sheriff's Office received 3,393 calls for service. Again, I say this every month, but that's anything from a paper service all the way up to a domestic abuse incident or any type of violent crime. It encourages any reason anybody calls the Sheriff's Office. We had 34 drug abuse cases, brand new drug cases started in the county, 28 disorderly conduct cases, 2 burglaries, 11 thefts, and 1 motor vehicle theft. Those numbers are pretty much down from the last quarterly report. I would anticipate that that would be the time of the year type of thing. The colder months typically bring some of those criminal activities down. They don't want to leave their warm houses, I guess. So for crashes, we handled 353 crashes in those 3 months. 179 of those were deer only, and we don't necessarily respond to all those. So we didn't respond to 353, but we did take 353 calls total. 46 property damage claim crashes, 25 injury crashes, and in November we recorded our 4th fatal crash for the year. And just on a side note, we ended with 4 for the year 2021. In the jail today, we had 28 inmates in total in custody, whether they be on electronic monitoring or sitting in our jail or being out in other jails for overcrowding purposes. We had 28. The last quarter, we were at 31. So we're down a little bit in that number. We have 6 out of county right now, where the last quarter we had 10 out of county. 4 on electronic monitoring as of today. And we had no others in other jails for non-contracted type of calls. So 18 in our county, and then total was 31 in custody. So those numbers are down just a little from previous quarters, but fairly consistent with the same quarter last year. So, and that's that for statistics.
Okay. Dan?
Sheriff, Dan Schreiner here. Could you tell me what the average is for a day out-of-county housing that you're paying?
Well, the average has been about 9, between 9 and 11. It has been the last 3 months. Each month has been about 1 or 2 less than the month before. And for the month of December, we were at 9. I don't have the January one in front of me, but I believe that was 9 as well. So,
What does it cost you per day? What does it cost for one inmate per day?
Well, that depends on what county they're in. Each county, the dollar amount is different, but it ranges from $35 to $45 per day.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Not? Hearing none there, thanks a lot. Brett?
Thank you. And one more thing. This will be my last quarterly report, probably, or could be for I'm in front of you as the county board as it stands today. We got elections coming up, and if by chance a certain county board member or if there's a big change and some of you are not present at the next one, I just want to thank you for working with you over the last few years, and again, thank you for working with me and for the citizens of the county. So I'll see you in April for my next meeting, and it'll be after that election. So.
Thank you. Okay, resolutions. Oh, proclamation here. Missed that one. Trumbull County School Choice Week.
Whereas all children in Trempealeau County should have access to the highest quality education possible. And whereas Trempealeau County recognizes the important role that an effective education plays in preparing all students in Trempealeau County to be successful adults. And whereas quality education is critically important to the economic vitality of Trempealeau County. And whereas Trempealeau County is home to a multitude of high-quality public and non-public schools from which parents can choose for their children, in addition to families who educate their children in the home. And whereas educational variety not only helps to diversify our economy, but also enhances the vibrancy of our community. And whereas Trempealeau County has many high-quality teaching professionals in all types of school settings who are committed to educating our children. And whereas School Choice Week is celebrated across the country by millions of students, parents, educators, schools, and organizations to raise awareness of the need for effective educational options. Now, therefore, I, John Austin, Trempealeau County Board Chair, do hereby recognize January 23rd through the 29th, 2022 as Trempealeau County School Choice Week, and I call this observance to the attention of all our citizens. John Austin, Chair.
Okay. 6, resolutions. These are just retirements.
Okay, recognizing Dawn Hem's contributions to Trempealeau County upon her retirement. Whereas Dawn Hem has served the residents of Trempealeau County since August 25th, 1986 as a county conservationist and a veterans benefits specialist. And whereas throughout Dawn's time in Trempealeau County, she has been a committed employee by sharing her professional knowledge to expand community support by engaging citizens about the protection of the land and water resources of Trempealeau County and beneficial assistance to our county veterans. And now therefore be it resolved that the Trempealeau County Board of Supervisors recognizes the contributions that Dawn Hem has made to improve the quality of life to our citizens through leadership, accountability, community engagement, and collaborative partnerships, as well as her promotion of thoughtful and elaborate services so that Trempealeau County has healthy people, a healthy economy, and a healthy environment. Finally, the County Board would like to thank her for her 36 years of steady and principled leadership, and we wish Dawn the best in her well-deserved retirement. Introduced on behalf of Trempealeau County Board, John Austin, County Board Chair.
Move to approve? I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Second one.
Recognizing Renee Lyon's contributions to Trempealeau County upon her retirement. Whereas Renee Lyon has served the residents of Trempealeau County since January 1st, 1976, as a dedicated employee. And whereas during her tenure with Trempealeau County, she has been instrumental in working in the District Attorney's Office and in the Child Support Department, including being Director of the Child Support Department. And whereas she has been a key component involving building a positive culture within Trempealeau County that aligns with the core values of Trempealeau County and provides for exceptional service to the citizens of Trempealeau County, and implementing new projects within Trempealeau County, and instituting new ways of doing business that seek to engage the community at all levels and focuses on providing consistent, honest, kind, and respectful services to Trempealeau County citizens. And whereas throughout Renee's time in Trempealeau County, she has been committed to mentoring future leaders and new department heads, to sharing her professional knowledge in the pursuit of developing innovative ideas, and to expanding community capacity by engaging citizens of Trempealeau County, as she understands that the quality of our service depends on them. And whereas projects were initiated, developed, and successfully implemented in large part because of her positivity, work ethic, and her commitment to support an open, honest, genuine, and respectful organizational culture. And now, therefore, be it resolved that the Trempealeau County Board of Supervisors recognizes the contributions that Renee Lyons has made in her 46 years of service through leadership, accountability, community engagement, and collaborative partnerships, as well as her promotion of thoughtful and deliberate services in pursuit of innovative solutions so that Trempealeau County has healthy people, a healthy economy, and a healthy environment. Finally, the County Board would like to thank her for her steady and principled leadership, and we wish Renee the best in her well-deserved retirement. Introduced on behalf of Trempealeau County by John Austin, County Board Chair.
Move for approval.
Motion by Johnson, seconded by Feltus. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, third one.
Recognizing Carol Bowick's contributions to Trempealeau County upon her retirement. Whereas Carol Bowick has served the residents of Trempealeau County since July 1st, 1977, as a bookkeeper and financial manager in the Public Health Department. And whereas throughout Carol's time in Trempealeau County, she has been a dedicated employee by sharing her professional knowledge to expand community awareness by engaging citizens in public health programs in Trempealeau County and providing beneficial assistance to our county citizens. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Trempealeau County Board of Supervisors recognizes the contributions that Carol Bowick has made to improve the quality of life of our citizens through leadership, accountability, community engagement, and collaborative partnerships, as well as her promotion of thoughtful and deliberate services so that Trempealeau County has healthy people, a healthy economy, and a healthy environment. Finally, the County Board would like to thank her for her 45 years of steady and principled leadership, and we wish Carol the best in her well-deserved retirement. Introduced on behalf of Trempealeau County Board, John Austin, County Board Chair.
Killian would like to make a motion.
I'll second.
Tell them that too late.
They're too late. We got it live here. Motion by Nutter and seconded by Squan. Thanks.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
may I request that the copies of all of these resolutions be sent to Carol and Renee and Don?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be done. That'll be done. Okay. We have Executive Finance Committee. Oh, we didn't do the vote. Oh, I got the motion and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Executive Finance Committee resolution to transfer funds to the general fund for contracted legal services.
Whereas outside legal counsel attorney Mindy Dale has been retained by Trempealeau County for oversight of a personnel matter, and whereas Trempealeau County will be utilizing the assistance of this retained counsel for several months, and whereas retained counsel will be submitting an invoice for services provided on a monthly basis, and whereas additional training has been provided in regards to such personal matter, and whereas the cost of such services was not provided for in any department budget, and under the circumstances should come out of the general fund on a monthly basis until such services have been completed. And whereas the fourth invoice submitted by such counsel is in the amount of $337.50. Now be it resolved that the Trempealeau County Board of Supervisors hereby approves the payment of $337.50 to attorney Mindy Dale for legal services provided, and approves the transfer of these amounts from the general fund to Human Resources, account 101-51430-203, Legal Labor Relations, for the payment of this invoice. Introduced by Executive Finance Committee, Chuck Wallach, Richard Seisha, George Brandt, John Austin, Tim Zeglin.
Move for adoption.
I'll second.
Motion by George, motion by Mr. Brandt, second by Ms. Nutter. Any discussion?
Killian has a question.
Yes.
Do we know how many more months?
I think this was it.
There
Might be one more.
I talked with Krista earlier today, and she said there likely will be one more small one.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, anyway. Call the roll.
Kurt Skoyan,
Yes.
Ron Johnson, sorry.
Yes.
Bridget Turner,
Yes.
Doug Winters,
No.
Sally Miller,
Yes.
Richard Seisha,
Yes.
Joe Feltus,
Yes.
George Brandt,
Yes.
Beth Killian,
Yes.
Randy Tellefson, Michelle Haynes,
Yes.
John Austin,
Yes.
Chuck Wallach, Tim Zeglin, Dan Schreiner,
No.
Jeannie Nutter,
Yes.
15-2.
15-2. It's
Oh.
carried.
That can't be right. 14-2,
14-2, yeah.
sorry.
Carried. Well, next one is Audit Committee. Membership claims.
Whereas the Audit Committee has audited the following claims and recommend that they be allowed as follows. John Austin, per diem $550, expenses $52.64, total $602.64. George Brandt, $200, per diem $57.12, expenses $257.12 total. Joe Feltus, nothing. Michelle Haynes, $150 per diem, $28 expenses, $178 total. Ron Johnson, $250 per diem, expenses of $85.12, total of $335.12. Beth Killian, $150 per diem, $62.16 expenses, total $212.16. Sally Miller, 0. Kellen Nelson, $300 per diem, expenses $62.16, total $362.16. GD Nutter, per diem of $500, expenses of $94.08, total $594.08. Dick Seisha, $100 per diem, expenses $58.24, total $158.24. Dan Schreiner, per diem $300, 0 expenses $300 total. Kurt Skoyan, $250 per diem, $73.92 expenses $323.92. Randy Tellison, $250 per diem, $95.20 expenses, $345.20. Bridget Turner, $50 per diem, $35.84 expenses, $85.84. Chuck Wallach, $200 per diem, $31.36 expenses, total $231.36. Doug Winters, nothing. Tim Zeglin, $400 per diem, $125.44 expenses, $525.44. Now be it resolved that the claims be allowed as shown, introduced by Audit Committee John Austin, Tim Ziegler, Dan Schreiner, and Bridget Turner.
Okay, looking for a motion to approve. Motion by Mr. Feltus. Seconded by Mr. Johnson. All those in favor? Oh, we gotta call the roll on this one.
Bridget Turner. Yes. Doug Winters. Sally Miller. Richard Seisha.
Yes.
Joe Feltus. George Brandt. Beth Killian.
Yes.
Randy Tullison. Michelle Haynes.
Yes.
John Austin.
Yes.
Chuck Wallach. Tim Ziegler. Dan Schreiner. Jeannie Nutter.
Yes.
Kurt Skoyen.
Yes.
Ron Johnson.
Yes.
He voted no, correct, Doug?
Yeah, I voted no because he didn't have anything coming.
Oh, 15 and 1.
Well, you gotta submit if you want anything. I didn't have any announcements unless somebody else has got something you want to add here. Committee reports, exec finance.
All your things went out in your packet, your general fund and sales tax updates. If you have questions, let our office know.
Okay, COVID committee, you have anything?
So I have not heard back where we're at with the reimbursement on the FEMA funding. I know that some things were rejected. They were resubmitted with the assistance of the integrity group, so I haven't heard where we're at on that, but we're continuing to encourage department heads and everybody to continue to document any expenses that are incurred as the result of COVID, you know, having to respond to it, mitigate, reduce exposure, all of those things, so that we can continue to submit as we're allowed to do it. I think FEMA, I don't think they've put an end on some of this, so that's kind of where we're at, though. But as for the rest of the work of the committee, which of course is just to deal with internal policy and such, continuing to encourage people to social distance, meet with as few people as possible, which clearly we're doing, and then also to utilize larger spaces when you do meet. So that's why we're asking to continue to have committee meetings in the county boardrooms, so that even if you only have 4 people, you can social distance and reduce the spread. So
Okay.
that's what I got.
Any questions of the COVID committee people? And then we'll go on. Correspondence. Letters from the library. You have those?
I do not have them. Were they, I'm guessing they went out in your packet? Okay. As long as you see, I'm assuming it's thank yous for 100% of funding.
Yes.
Okay.
One is from Arcadia and one's from Osceola.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Instruct the clerk, we're looking for a motion to instruct the clerk to pay mileage per diem.
So, second.
Motion by Feltus, seconded by Nutter. All those in favor? Oop, you gotta do the call again?
Roll
We
call.
did it already.
I don't know. I'm just sitting here, man. Okay. Bridget Turner. Doug Winters. Sally Miller. Richard Seisha. Joe Feltus. George Brandt. Beth Killian.
Yes.
Randy Tullison. Michelle Haynes.
Yes.
John Austin.
Yes.
Chuck Wallach. Tim Ziegler. Dan Schreiner. Jeannie Nutter.
Yes.
Kurt Skoyen.
Yes.
Ron Johnson.
Yes.
16-0.
Well, they sure shortens up a meeting when you don't have Paul here. You see.
Are you saying I talk fast or what?
Anyway, this is a 35-minute meeting, so. No, I don't think it's a record, but it's close. Anyway. So I thank y'all for coming through the snow to get here and the cold. Next meeting is scheduled for February 28th at 7 p.m.
February 28th.
Right.
Thank you all. Yep. Bye-bye. Have a good day tomorrow.
All right.